What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it's going viral, and everybody keeps sending me these reports. And everybody's saying there's an agreement in place for undefeated 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion, the reigning unified welterweight world champion, superstar boxer who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the #1 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford is 40 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 36 years of age, 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. Now, he has his sights set on a specific fighter to create history, cement his legacy, and then get out the sport of boxing. And that fighter goes by 4-division world champion, undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar, pound for pound, face of the sport of boxing, in Saul Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8", with a 70-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford is 5'8", with a 74-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez has as many knockouts as Terence Crawford has fights. He has 39 knockouts. Crawford has 40 fights, right? He has 31 knockouts, Terence Crawford does. So with that said, Terence Crawford wants to create history, okay? And he set his sights now on Canelo Alvarez. He is completely locked in and focused on Canelo Alvarez now. As he stated initially, he felt like Canelo Alvarez was just simply too big. But as time went on, and after his marquee victory, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, when he took on and defeated his biggest rival in former unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who was top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world at the time, in Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is 28 wins, 1 loss, no draws. He's 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, and he's a southpaw. Big, strong, and durable. Fundamentally sound and aggressive with extremely high work rate. So Terence Crawford, after he shocked the world, this was a fight that was arguably the biggest fight anticipated in the last decade. On paper, it was a 50-50 fight if there ever were one. And Terence Crawford absolutely shocked the world, dominating Errol Spence, dropped him in the second round, twice in the 7th round, then stopped him in the 9th round, then battered him all those other rounds. Some people thought the fight should have been stopped in the 6th and 7th round. Didn't get stopped to the 9th round. So with that said, after that, Terence Crawford landed on everybody's radar. He essentially nearly became a household name after that fight. And everybody took notice to the greatness and the skill set of Terence Crawford. And everybody wanted to see what's next for Terence Crawford. And in the past, because Errol Spence was linked to Canelo Alvarez in a possible catchweight showdown, people would ask Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford would say 168 is too big. But after the Errol Spence fight, Terence Crawford, he came to the understanding that Canelo Alvarez is simply not too big for him, and the fact that Canelo Alvarez is only 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, and he actually started his career at 147. Okay, and Canelo Alvarez blossomed up. He moved up, but he's not a big 68-pounder. He's big in mass, but not in actual physical size, right? And he doesn't have fast feet. He has fast hands, puts combinations together great. He has power, not one-punch knockout power, but accumulation of a puncher. And he has a high ring IQ. And he has slick defense. And Terence Crawford come to the understanding that, wait a minute, I can compete with him. He's not too big for me, right? And so initially he said he'll fight. First he said 168 was too much. Then he changed his mind and said we could fight at a catchweight. Then he said, you know what? I can actually go up to 168 and create history. I want to be the first guy to jump up from 147 to 168 and be an undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes and set the bar so high. He said the shoes would be so big for the generation coming behind me to fill, it would nearly be impossible. And he's right. And Terence Crawford wants this fight. He is locked in on Canelo Alvarez. And so now there's platforms that have made this go viral because I put up a post and there's a mouthpiece specialist that have put up a post and stated that Terence Crawford had a custom-made $5,000 24 karat gold mouthpiece made with the Nebraska logo on it. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. He's a fan of Nebraska Cornhuskers, the college. And he made the statement that this is the mouthpiece I'm going to wear when I knock out Canelo Alvarez. And then people started to state that they have a deal and an agreement in place to face off against one another. And Terence Crawford is making it abundantly clear he's going to go after Canelo Alvarez full steam ahead. Now, Terence Crawford is a network promotional free agent. Canelo Alvarez has signed a 3-fight deal with Premier Boxing Champions, founder and advisor Al Heyman, better known as the PBC, and he satisfied one of those fights. 3-fight deal. The first one was September 30th when he took on 3-time junior middleweight world champion, former undisputed junior middleweight world champion, but still the unified reigning junior middleweight world champion superstar boxer Jermell Iron Man Charlo. They fought September 30th. He dropped him in the 7th round and won a unanimous decision over Jermell Charlo. A guy who Terence Crawford had his sights set on because he wanted to fight Jermell Charlo, who has ties and friendship with Errol Spence, and also they share the same trainer, well-renowned 2-time trainer, future Hall of Famer Derrick James. So the storyline and the ability to create history, because he beat Errol Spence, he became undisputed in 2 separate weight classes, became the first male to do so. Clarissa Shields became the first boxer in female boxing, but he became the first male. And he wanted to beat Jermell Charlo, was a rivalry, a storyline, and history, because he could become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. But Jermell Charlo got the opportunity and dared to be great to jump up 2 weight classes and fight Canelo, and he came up short. But in doing so, he had to be removed as the WBO, World Boxing Organization, junior middleweight world champion, because he had a mandatory that he was already scheduled to fight in Tim Tszyu. So Tim Tszyu got elevated. They made it undisputed versus undisputed, but only until the first bell rang. And then he got stripped of his WBO title and Tim Tszyu was elevated, right? And so that was his plan, but he got stripped of the belt and then he lost to Canelo badly. So, and then he didn't put up any resistance, lackluster performance. So Terence Crawford wasn't happy. So he said, listen, I set my sights on Canelo Alvarez, which he still can beat Tim Tszyu, fight and beat Tim Tszyu, become the WBO champion, fight Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo has a mandatory in the IBF. Jermell Charlo, Terence Crawford fight for undisputed is still a big storyline. He beats Jermell Charlo. He's an undisputed 3-division world champion and world champion in 4 different weight classes. Now he's jumping 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez for undisputed at 168 from 154. But Canelo Alvarez has 2 fights left on his deal, which he's going to satisfy the second fight, May 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. And it's being said that he's going to fight Jermell Charlo's identical twin brother, who is an undefeated 2-division champion, in Jamal Hitman Lions Only Charlo. And then in that third fight, the second week in September, he historically fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend, the first weekend in May, and Mexican Independence Day weekend, the second weekend in September. So Canelo Alvarez will fight, it looks like, David Benavidez the second week in September. But people are saying that Terence Crawford and Canelo have a deal in place to face one another, okay, in September, right? Now, Terence Crawford has a contract and an obligation that he has to satisfy, which is he has to face off against Errol Spence in an immediate rematch. And Terence Crawford's back in the gym training, and he has to face Errol Spence in an immediate rematch. And it looks like that's going to take place around that April time. So people are saying Terence Crawford got a deal in place. Terence Crawford is not signed with the PBC. He's a network promotional free agent. After September's fight, Canelo Alvarez will be a network promotional free agent. And it looks like Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter, has a close relationship with Canelo Alvarez. And he has, that Eddie Hearn, a direct pipeline now to His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh in Saudi Arabia, who's throwing out big money. And I'm sure Canelo Alvarez wants to be a part of that. So it's said that since Terence Crawford is a network promotional free agent, Canelo Alvarez will be a network promotional free agent after September 2nd. Now, the second week in September, he would have to beat David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo. In the meantime, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Errol Spence. And then they could possibly fight in December. But if I'm Terence Crawford, since Canelo Alvarez has 2 fights, I'm looking to become a 4-division champion. If you fight Errol Spence, it looks like it's going to be at 154. You fight and beat Errol Spence. You fight Tim Tszyu. You beat Tim Tszyu. You have 2 fights this year. Canelo has 2 fights this year. You fight Canelo Alvarez in December. Terence Crawford will be 37. Canelo will be 34. So, as of right now, this viral report that they have a deal in place is false. It's false. It's not true, people. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's not true. It's going viral, and these are from this AI channels that picks up a lot of algorithm and generates a lot of attention, and people latch onto it, and they're asking me, is this true? The truth of the matter is, it's false. It's not true. They do not have a deal in place. They did not agree to fight. Canelo did not agree to fight Terence Crawford. He has a sight set on Jamal Charlo or Jaime Munguia for May, and then we'll see. It looks like David Benavidez September, and then we'll have to see where he goes from there. But this report is false, people. Sorry to burst your bubble. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.